Words. Ha! Words are cheap. They float around like dust in the wind. No weight, no substance, just empty promises. You want to win an argument? Oh sure, you could shout louder, twist the truth, spit out all those fancy words you read in a book somewhere, but in the end, no one cares. You see, the trick isn't in winning arguments. No. The real trick is in not needing to argue at all. You don't convince people with your words. You show them with your actions. Actions, now those speak volumes, don't they? A fist to the face, a bullet through the door, that's hard to misinterpret. You know why people fear silence? It's because they can't argue with it. They don't know what's coming. You say less, but you do more, and they're left scrambling, trying to figure out what's coming next. Now, that's power. Let me tell you a little story. It's a classic tale of the office drone. We all know a guy like this. Let's call him Tom. Tom's the type who loves to debate, politics, work strategies, the best route to take home. He's got an opinion on everything. Every lunchtime, he's in there trying to prove he's right, trying to show off how clever he is. And guess what? Nobody's listening. Why? Because it's all talk. Just talk. And nobody cares about talkers. They care about doers. Then there's Steve. Steve doesn't say much. He's not there to debate what's wrong with the company, how things could be better. No, Steve just quietly gets his work done. And when the promotion comes around, when the boss has to decide who's worth keeping, who do you think they pick? Loudmouth Tom with his opinions, or quiet Steve who just gets results? You see where I'm going with this, right? You can scream at the top of your lungs about how you're right, how the world is wrong. But it won't matter, because at the end of the day, people don't follow the loudest voice. They follow the results. It's actions that change things, not arguments. You want respect, you want control, you want power, then stop wasting time convincing people with your mouth and show them with your hands. You ever watch politicians? Oh, they love to argue. They'll go on for hours, back and forth, making promises, slinging mud, saying whatever they think will win people over. And what happens? People get tired. They stop caring because deep down they know it's all just noise, and the ones who rise to the top, the ones who make moves behind the scenes, silently, they don't argue, they act. Now look at relationships. You ever see a couple where they just keep arguing? They'll go round and round shouting the same points over and over like they're stuck in some twisted loop. And for what? To prove who's right? Let me tell you, when it gets to that point, it's already over. You don't win someone over by shouting louder. You win them by doing. You don't convince someone you love them by saying it 1,000 times. You show them. And if you can't, well, you've already lost, haven't you? Think about wars. No one ever won a war with speeches. Sure, they try. They'll stand in front of flags, give a rousing speech, make people feel something for a minute. But when the dust settles, when the speeches fade, it's not words that win, it's force, it's actions. It's what you do that leaves a mark, not what you say. You see, words are malleable, slippery. You can twist them, bend them, make them mean whatever you want. But actions, those are solid, those stick. You can't argue with what's done. Once the knife's in the back, once the door's closed, once the deal's made, it's done. No argument can change that. It's there, written in stone. But here's the fun part, the irony in all this. People love to argue. They get wrapped up in their little debates, thinking they're so clever, thinking they can convince you. And while they're busy flapping their jaws, what are you doing? You're moving, you're getting things done. They're distracted by their own ego, by their need to be right. And that's when you strike. That's when you win. And they won't even see it coming. You ever seen someone beg to be right? It's pathetic, really. They think if they can just find the right words, the right argument, they'll change minds, they'll win. But the truth is, nobody really cares who's right. They care about who's in control, and control doesn't come from winning arguments. It comes from winning without having to argue at all. So here's the kicker. When they come at you, when they try to pull you into their little debates, don't bother. Let them talk. Let them think they're winning. All the while, you're doing the real work. You're putting the pieces in place. And by the time they realize what's happening, it's too late. You've already won. Power isn't about being right. It's about getting results. People remember what you do, not what you say. So stop wasting your breath trying to convince the world of anything. Let your actions speak for you. Because once you've shown them what you can do, the argument's already over. And when they're left standing there, speechless, wondering how it all slipped through their fingers, that's when you laugh. Because you knew all along. That words, they're just noise.